the Leviathan Chronicles, an audio adventure. The story thus far. Evangeline has been betrayed. After welcoming Macallan, Tully and Harlequin into Leviathan City, Evangeline reluctantly agrees to provide Anton with the medical care he requires from the injuries he sustained during the Starstone neutralization. Surprisingly, Evangeline is curious and warm towards Macallan, her genetic twin. In her, Evangeline sees a younger version of herself, unburdened by the responsibilities she has shouldered under the Eden Initiative. She befriends Macallan and offers to show her Leviathan City and meet some of its inhabitants. But their tour is cut short by news that a severe security breach has occurred within the underwater city's AI computer system that could threaten the safety and secrecy of Leviathan. Evangeline rushes to the war room to be confronted that Harlequin, with whom she has just spent the evening, is responsible for the attack. Accusations fly, and violence breaks out in the war room. Harlequin reveals that Bennu is actually Krigerson, Evangeline's ancient nemesis from medieval Norway, 1,000 years ago. But on the other side of the world, Mai Li and Oberlin continue their journey aboard the Tangula Railway, heading towards Lhasa, the capital of Tibet. Mai Li's father, Dr. Ten Sui, has given her a rendezvous point high in the Himalayan mountains that she is desperately trying to reach. The two of them have also stolen a briefcase from the Blackdoor group, which has allowed them to communicate with mysterious individuals who claim to be held prisoner in Leviathan. But a deadly showdown is about to take place. Whitt Roberts has boarded the Tangula at a remote supply stop, and he wants his briefcase back. And now, Chapter 23, Lhasa. The bright pale moon rose over the empty Tibetan plain. Supplemental oxygen slowly hissed through the compartments of the Tangula Railway as it reached 15,000 feet on the high passes through the Himalayas. By now, the majority of the passengers aboard the luxury train had retired to their cabins for the evening. The dining car had served its last portion of snow crab thermidor, and only a single light remained illuminated in the bar car. But inside one of the sumptuous cabins, one man was very much awake and making meticulous preparations.
The briefcase is here. Oberlin St. Clair is here. Should have taken both last night, but I was still so tired from my injuries. I've had to wait for darkness again. Now I have one chance, one perfect chance to make it all right again. Stupid Irishman doesn't know what the hell he's done. What danger he's put us all in. Damn him. Damn him!
Whitt Roberts' hand drifted to where his right ear used to be.
But what I really want is revenge. Revenge for maiming me. Revenge for taking the fucking briefcase. Kill that Chinese bitch, too. I'll take back what they took from me. I'll fucking kill...
Whitt turned his attention to the laptop on the cabin desk. He punched in a 19-digit access code and opened the secure communication software to patch him in with his caller.
Whitt, this is Jason. Are you in position?
I'm in place, Jason.
Excellent. We've isolated the location of Target Zero. I'm transmitting the coordinates now.
Neutralize or apprehend?
Neutralize with prejudice.
With pleasure. And the rendezvous?
Still on schedule. I'm assembling the Enforcer team now to assist with the extraction. The team will be ready in 48 hours.
Jason, once the rescue mission is complete, how do we know that the...
Excuse me, sir. Would you like a newspaper delivered to your cabin in the morning?
No, yes. The Herald Tribune, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good night.
Whitt waited until he could no longer hear the sounds of the cabin attendant knocking on people's doors. He quickly returned to his computer screen, but found that the screen had gone blank. The line was dead. Whitt shut his eyes tightly and closed the screen of the laptop before walking over to the full-length mirror by the door. He examined himself carefully and saw that he looked the part perfectly. There was just one last detail. Whitt fished in his pocket for a palm-sized piece of rubber. Whitt squirted a bit of specialized adhesive on the prosthetic ear he held and affixed it to the right side of his head. It was a humiliating nuisance, but he couldn't risk any distinguishing facial features that would allow someone to recognize him. He also needed the ear in order to wear his glasses.
Damn it, now I need equipment for my equipment.
Whitt quickly looked around his room for any incriminating evidence. All of his bags were still neatly packed. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The only bit of hardware that gave any inclination regarding Whitt's real identity was the laptop computer still plugged into the Tangula's Ethernet port. Whitt turned and gave himself one last glance in the mirror, and then stepped out into the hallway. To the untrained eye, Whitt played the part of the hapless American in a foreign land perfectly. He resembled the embodiment of the older, upper-middle-class, suburban American tourist, a humble astronomer wearing a single-breasted navy blue blazer, Brooks Brothers blue Oxford shirt, khaki pants, and matching cordovan belt and shoes. But to the trained eye, Whitt Roberts was going hunting. The blue button-down Oxford shirt was woven from bullet-resistant Spectra fabric and could stop the fire from a 9mm handgun. Whitt's cordovan penny loafers featured small blackened copper tips that were capable of delivering a 75,000-volt charge from the lithium batteries contained in the heels. His belt buckle was detachable, releasing a razor-thin steel cable that could be used as a gurret or as a rappelling device. The inside of his khaki trousers were lined with ballistic nylon and stitched with Kevlar thread, allowing the same abrasion resistance as bulky motorcycle leathers in case Whitt fell from a rapidly moving object. His eyeglasses were equipped with infrared lenses and a high-resolution camera with facial recognition software, maintaining a wireless connection to the laptop still running in Whitt's cabin. But it was his blue blazer that was the most sophisticated piece of equipment. The blazer contained 2 hidden gun holsters, covered with an X-ray reflective lead coating, in addition to 2 small push-knife pockets concealed within each shoulder pad. Each gold button of the jacket was actually a concentrated blasting cap, and the internal stitching of the blazer was connected to a razor-thin flexible polymer battery that could maintain core body temperature for over 72 hours. Lastly, the velour piping along the inside bottom of the blazer contained a pressurized chamber of hydrogen cyanide that would be capable of killing a room full of people in under 60 seconds. Whitt knew that he could hold his breath for more than 60 seconds.
Okay, so you have to prepare yourself. This Chinese woman with Oberlin, we know she's Blackdoor. She'll be difficult to neutralize. I can't have a firefight on the train. Too messy, too much attention. If they stop the train, I'm toast. No extraction point. I'll be caught on the remote plains. Still another 10 hours to Lhasa. Now, I need to strike hard and fast. Discreet brutality.
Whitt walked slowly through the passenger car, noting the gold numbers embossed in the polished walnut cabin doors. Hours earlier, Whitt had discovered that Mr. and Mrs. Stuart Clenaghan were the only passengers on board that had purchased their tickets within the last week.
12 hours after the Yggdrasil was destroyed, right before Sanctuary became a shooting range. If Oberlin St. Clair is on this train, then 615 has to be his cabin.
Whitt walked quietly down the corridor of the 6th train car, appearing to be the nonchalant astronomer. A porter entered the car at the far end and brushed past him, pushing a silver trolley upon which sat a platter of bananas and a chilled bowl filled with scoops of ice cream.
Good evening, Dr. Golden.
Good evening.
Oh, this is our evening ice cream service. A banana split prepared in your cabin. Would you like me to send your cabin steward over to...
No, it looks delicious. It's just...
Whitt Roberts stuck his belly forward and gave it a few pats with his hand.
Oh, of course, sir. Please enjoy your evening.
Oh, I will.
Once Whitt was sure that the porter was safely out of view, he approached cabin number 615 and carefully took one more glance to his left and right. Whitt needed less than a few seconds to dismantle the rudimentary lock to the cabin, but he afforded himself a few more for the benefit of keeping his motions utterly silent. He looked down at his feet and saw that there was no light leaking out from beneath the door. Whitt pressed his ear close to it and listened for any sound coming from inside the cabin.
No sound, no lights. It's still too early for bed. They must still be in the bar car. Still. Take no chances.
Whitt withdrew the Rawbogue R9S stealth pistol from the inside pocket of his blazer. He removed the safety, cocked the pistol, took one deep breath, and shoved the door open hard. Whitt immediately raced inside and began scanning the room frantically.
Man, get the door. Stay low. Any attack will come from high. Door to the left. Bathroom. No targets. Clean. Bed. Clean. Chair. Clean. Closets. Where are the fucking closets? There. Closets. Clean. Stop and listen. Room is secure.
Keeping his eyes on the corners of the room in case he missed something, Whitt ran his hand along the side of the wall, searching for a light switch. The dimly lit room filled with soft light, and Whitt could take in his surroundings in greater detail.
2 sets of clothes, men's and women's, IDs. There has to be some sort of... Here. Passports. Stuart Clenahan and Elaine Clenahan. MasterCard World Elite, American Express Centurion card, whatever. Weapons. She must have weapons hidden.
Whitt grabbed every drawer and ripped each one out of the wall, covering half the room in under 5 seconds.
No, that's not where she'd put them. I'd want them where I could access them easily if I was in danger.
Whitt ran to the bathroom and found a Glock 23 hidden in the vanity under the sink. He then raced over to the windows to find an HKP-7 duct tape behind the curtains. Turning to the bed, he yanked the mattress off the bed frame to find 2 throwing knives hidden beneath it.
She's Blackdoor, but there has to be something else. Something I'm missing.
Whitt was on autopilot, tearing apart the room, but suddenly, all of his training failed him, and Whitt froze as soon as he saw it.
The briefcase.
In a small corner beside the bed lay Whitt Roberts' briefcase, containing the communications device he claimed allowed him to talk to gods. A black silk dress had been laid on top of it, disguising its presence, but pushing over the mattress knocked the dress to the floor, revealing its titanium case.
Yes, Jesus, thank God I've got it back. I have to make sure that they haven't... Wait, the hell is this?
Beside the briefcase lay several topological maps of Tibet and the Himalayan mountain region. In the right corner of one of the maps, someone had handwritten a set of GPS coordinates. Red and green ink was scrawled along several of the high-altitude passes and had accompanying notes that read, "Too far off course, access to supplies limited, too technical, best route for Oberlin." But Whitt's heart stopped beating when he saw the giant red X circled in the middle of the map.
My God, it's Mount Shenglong, the rendezvous point. But that's fucking impossible. How could they know? This can't be happening. How do they know? How in the hell can they possibly know?
I didn't know steak tartare meant it was raw.
Oh, what did you think the tartare meant, silly?
You know, the creamy white stuff you dip your clams into.
You are a very cute Irishman.
You say that to all the 9-fingered men you rescue from rice paddies.
Only the ones who know how to read palms. Really, you are so cheesy.
I'm telling you, I was raised by gypsies in the Carpathian Mountains.
You lie.
Come here, you.
I think we have another bottle of Hennessy inside the minibar. Ugh, where is the damn cabin key?
I've got your key right here.
Stop, you. Ugh, here it is. Oh, I left the stupid door open. We should read.
Whitt grabbed Oberlin's wrist and twisted it 180 degrees while violently pulling him into the cabin. Miley instinctively reached towards her thigh garter holster, but Whitt was too fast. With his adrenaline surging, he snatched a fistful of her hair and yanked her neck hard to the side, throwing her into the cabin. He jammed his arm across her neck, spun behind her, and pressed the point of the push knife against her carotid artery. With his free hand, he drew the R9 and bore down on Oberlin.
Don't move. I found all the weapons in the cabin. If I even think you're moving, I'll shoot. And all I need to do is flick my wrist and your girlfriend will bleed out in about 30 seconds, with absolutely nothing in the world for you to do to save her.
Oberlin stared helplessly. A tiny dot of blood was forming just above the knife point Whitt held against Miley's neck.
Please shut up. That map. Where did you get that map?
National Geographic?
Next time, you lose another pinky.
It is my map. Those are my notes.
Those coordinates. Where the hell did you get those coordinates? Tell me! Fine. You're just making this more enjoyable for me.
Whitt walked over to Oberlin and kicked him in the shin hard. 75,000 volts brutally shot through Oberlin St. Clair's body, assaulting every muscle fiber he had. He flew off the chair and landed in a heap on the floor.
What'll be interesting is the next kick. I'm gonna go for a headshot just above the ear. With a little luck, I could score brain damage or a light stroke. All I need to do is...
My father gave me those coordinates.
And who the hell is your father?
Dr. Tang Sui.
What? That's impossible. You're lying to me.
No, I'm not lying.
Let's prove it. Turn around. Let me get a good look at you.
The tips of Whitt Roberts' eyeglasses pulsed a tiny flash of light, and within seconds he began to see words and images flashing across the tiny heads-up display built into the right eye lens.
Miley, graduate, Stanford University, 5 years with the Foreign Service, 6 years with CIA Special Activities Division, level 40 security clearance, daughter of Dr. Tang Sui, critical target, detected status. My God, you are Sui's daughter.
Please, let me go.
What are you doing at Mount Shenglong?
Meeting my father for a cup of green tea. Why do you care about a remote mountain in Tibet?
Hand me the briefcase from over there.
You are going to this mountain as well. Door number 12 has business there. You have business with my father.
Listen to me carefully. Your status says you're protected. That means I have orders not to hurt you, but I will easily break those orders if you make any move that I perceive as a risk. I'm gonna let you go, but I will have my gun aimed directly at Oberlin's head. I want you to sit on the bed, facing me, with your hands on your knees. Do you understand?
Miley nodded, and Whitt Roberts released his grip and let the push knife slowly drop away from her neck. She did as she was told, walking slowly to the bed and sat down with her hands on her knees.
You opened fire in Sanctuary. You've brought the world down upon Blackdoor.
The world has more pressing problems, and so do you. If I were you, I'd be a lot more concerned about telling me what I want to know.
Where would you like me to start?
Why Mount Shenglong? How did you get the
Can't you see it? We're both going there for the same reason. It's my father. He called us there. I haven't seen my father in decades. The bigger question is, what are you doing there?
Our door has been hired for an extraction mission.
Not exactly the typical stock and trade for door number 12.
The price was right.
Wait, you're there to get my father.
Your father is an architect, a brilliant one, in a plan to save the Earth.
Take me to him. He won't help you if you don't let me come. He called out to me. He wanted me to meet him there at Mount Shenglong. You know, I'm telling the truth. How in the hell could I have gotten those coordinates otherwise?
Whitt stood in silence, considering this.
You need me. I'm door number 3. My specialty is Sino-American espionage. I can get us in and out of Tibet.
We have an extraction plan.
Well, given the fact that you're standing in front of me with only one ear, I'm going to humbly suggest that things don't always go according to plan. You'd be wise to use every asset at your disposal to ensure the success of your mission. He's my father. He obviously called us both there for a reason. Take me with you.
Fine. You'll come with me. I'll get you to your father because we need him, and there's a chance I might need you. But what we don't need is a lot of extra weight slowing us down in the mountains. Your train buddy has been a serious pain in my ass, and the world is about to be a better place without him.
No, please.
Payback's a bitch, Oberlin. Say goodbye to your little friend.
No, don't, please. I'm begging you.
Sorry, no pets allowed on the train.
Before you do anything you might regret, you should know that I've really enjoyed getting the chance to play with your briefcase. Quite a fascinating piece of electronics you've got yourself there.
As if you had any idea
How to operate a high-frequency transponder designed to decrypt and amplify satellite-generated gamma rays? Yeah, I'm a pretty quick study. I'm also really good at locking up briefcases.
Thank you, Oberlin, but I think I can pick a briefcase lock if I need to.
I'm sure you can, but I've actually encrypted the frequency modulator to only scan randomly without the ability to hone in on the higher signals.
Nice bluff, but you would know how
Know
to...
how to what? Operate a communications device. Who are the two people on the other end of the line, Whitt? Why do they need rescuing? What is Leviathan?
My God, I can't believe it. You actually...
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm good at a lot of things. Bar tricks mostly. But when it comes to...
Whitt raised his pistol at Oberlin.
I am going to...
Kill me? Is that your big bad guy plan? Just pop me off with your evil villain gun. Well, get something straight before you do, laddie. You kill me, you will never, ever be able to use that briefcase again. If you breathe on Miley the wrong way, you will never, ever use that briefcase again. You think I'm bluffing? Think harder. You've underestimated me at every turn. Miley needs you now to get to her father. You need me to unlock the frequency of your damn briefcase,
And you need my Lee.
I don't need anything.
Fine. We'll all be one big happy menage a trois of spies trapezing all over the ceiling of the world. A team. Is that what you want?
No, it's not what I want, but I think it's what we'll have to do in order to get what we want.
Well then, I'm going to suggest our first team-building exercise. Oberlin, the code to the frequency module, if you please.
No, I'm afraid not, my friend. It doesn't work that way.
What do you mean?
Not until we get to Mount Shenglong together, and not until Miley gets to speak to her father. I'm coming with you to the Himalayas. You're stuck with me and my charming personality until then.
What?
Looks like we're all taking a little hiking trip together.
Oberlin, give him the codes and leave as soon as we get to Lhasa. There's no way
I'm not leaving, Miley. I'm not leaving you.
Forgive me if I start having a moment, but she's fucking right, Oberlin. Give me the codes, get the fuck out of China, and you have my word that I won't pursue
How
you.
the fuck do you know I won't pursue you?
I could rip your fucking eyes out.
Hey! Let's get something straight. We've all got a long trip together. If we're gonna do this, really do this, and get to Mount Shenglong, then we've got a hell of a lot of work to do. We need to determine routes, supplies, guides, everything. So if you want to have a samurai showdown, I'm gonna suggest you save your energy until after the mission. Don't be fucking stupid. Right now, stupid could kill every one of us. I just want to speak to my father.
Whitt took out the push knife again and started to pick at some of the dirt underneath his fingernails.
Well, since it looks like none of us will be going anywhere for a while, let's just start going over that map of yours. Looks like we're pulling into Lhasa.
About time.
I have a transport arranged to take us to Tingri, leaving in 3 hours. The report says there's a low pressure system moving in, so I suggest we not be late.
Understood. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to powder my nose.
Your nose looks fine.
I didn't ask you.
Miley got up and left to go to the restroom, closing and locking the door behind her.
Well, come to think of it, I think I may want to shake the old...
You listen to me, you little insect. You are not important. Do you understand? You are totally insignificant.
Let go of me, you fucking lunatic.
You better make goddamn sure that you keep that Chinese bitch's feet tapping, because as soon as she loses interest in you, I promise you that you're a dead man.
If only I had your charm.
I want to take back what you stole from me. You had no right. If I could cut you open and take it back, I would. I swear I would.
Fucking asshole. You got it. It's in your goddamn hand. You've got the briefcase. Do whatever the fuck you want with
Not
it.
the damn briefcase. My identity. You stole my identity.
What the fuck are you talking about? You're insane.
My ear, you bastard. They can recognize me now. They can all recognize me. You took it away from me.
My god. You perverted little sociopath. Is the universe that goddamn small that it only revolves around you? Crying about what you've lost? Your identity? What about my identity? What you fucking took from me? I'm an engineer and you ruined my hand. You took that away from me. I can't get my finger back any more than your lost ear.
So we're both damaged.
One important difference.
What's that?
You started this, not me. You started it.
No, I didn't. The war was already on its way. This is so much bigger than you. It's even bigger than me. You're just insignificant.
Now, you listen to me. You listen. Gun or no gun, I'm not afraid of you anymore.
You'll see. When we get to Mount Shenglong, you'll see.
I'll see what?
That I was right.
Right about what?
What the hell is going on out here?
Nothing. Just guy talk.
Yeah, guy talk.
Well, remind me to thank God I don't have a penis. Why don't you get your things from your cabin, Whitt? I need a moment alone with Oberlin.
Whitt stood his ground.
You have the briefcase, Whitt, and we clearly have nowhere to run. Please, we'll meet you on the main platform.
Whitt stared at the two of them and then turned to retreat to his cabin.
Miley.
Listen to me. You take this envelope. There's about $10,000 inside and the passport that has you as Stuart Clanahan. I'll take care of Whitt Roberts, but you need to get the hell out of here, out of Tibet. It's way too dangerous. The dining car has an alternate exit.
Stop it! Just stop. I'm not leaving you, Miley. You saved my life. And we're in this together. And I know that you're this gorgeous super spy and I'm just a dumb Mick, but I can still help. I want to help. And I want to make sure that miserable son of a bitch Whitt gets you to your father. Plus, I've got to find out what's going on with Tully.
Tully?
Well, him and other stuff.
Other stuff.
His index finger lightly touched hers.
I want to make sure I get to the other stuff.
You're making a mistake.
No, I'm not.
You'll slow me down and
I'll walk fast.
You don't understand. I don't need you with me.
You don't know that.
Then I know I don't want you with me.
Miley, please. Don't make decisions for me. Your father did that to you. Please don't put me through the pain that you've carried inside yourself for so many years. The pain of not knowing. Please, let me come with you.
No, you have to leave Tibet.
Miley, I'm not fucking around. I want to come with you, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. If you don't let me, I'll go straight to the police and tell them where they can find the most wanted rogue spy on the planet, and then you'll never get to see your father. Please, Miley, I'm not as weak as I look. Let me come with you.
Fine.
Good.
Mai Li slung her khaki knapsack over her shoulder and grabbed the handle of one of her bags.
But Oberlin,
Yes?
grab the cognac out of the minibar. It's going to be very cold where we're going.
Lhasa, Tibet.
Taxi! The Manasaravar Hotel off Gongbatong Road.
What are these?
Our travel documents. Passport, credit cards, driver's license. You'll need to present these to the hotel or to any other authorities that might detain you. They contain false identities that are untraceable.
I see. Seinshun, why are we in a taxi? Don't you usually have a driver?
Usually.
Then why are we using public transportation?
Because we're trying to be careful. Trying to stay below the radar screen and stay unpredictable. I don't
We
want...
just flew into an economically depressed country on a private jet. I think that
You see these documents you're holding in your hand?
Yes?
Well, the man that provided them to me was found dead 20 hours ago in a parking lot in the Bronx. Someone knows we're on the move. They might even know that we're here.
Blackdoor.
Unclear, but likely. So for right now, the smartest thing we can do is the unexpected.
I expected you to have a chauffeur and private car to take us around Lhasa.
But instead, we're taking a taxi to the city center.
That's smart.
You're right about the plane, though. That was conspicuous. But we had no choice if we wanted to get here quickly. If we want any chance of getting Macallan Orsel back. Then we have to stay one step ahead of the Blackdoor group. Dawdling won't help us. Having it look like the plane only stopped for refueling. It's on its way to Domodedovo Airport near Moscow.
We're in danger right now, aren't we?
It's worth whatever risks we have to take. We didn't survive for several centuries just to lose it now to some mortals that can outmaneuver us.
Why does Blackdoor want to kill us?
Because men must always slay the gods they worship in order to progress. I'm sorry. Blackdoor feels that, as immortals, we represent a threat to U.S. sovereignty. That because Leviathan has superior technology, far greater economic resources, and operates independently from the geopolitical rules that every other nation adheres to, if there's one thing the U.S. government doesn't like, it's anybody as powerful as they are. It's why we've always worked so hard to stay secret, undetectable.
If they think we're such a threat, then why hasn't Blackdoor told the whole world about us yet?
Greed. Just sheer greed. They don't want to just eliminate us. They want to capture us and everything that we've built. They want our genes, they want our money, and they want whatever it is that mortal men want.
They won't stop hunting us, will they?
Remember, Nathaniel, there's a very fine line between hunter and hunted. We have venom too. I don't want you to worry. Just remember to only use the name that's printed on your false papers. For the time being, that's the only identity you have. It should keep us safe for a little while.
Right. Seinshun,
What?
thank you.
For what?
Well, for doing all of this. For taking such steps to keep me safe. I'm sorry for what I said earlier on the plane.
It's fine, Nathaniel. It's fine.
The taxi pulled into the large central courtyard of the Manasarova International Hotel. The massive building could have easily been mistaken for a government building due to its sheer size. 4 thick columns framed a short, wide staircase leading from the street into the hotel lobby. In the distance, Nathaniel could see the Potala Palace looming high above the central city and seemed to be an extension of the Himalayas that surrounded Lhasa. Large red Chinese letters were displayed on the front of the hotel building, with smaller English letters off to the side. The taxi stopped in front of the concrete steps that led upwards to an ornate lobby.
Good afternoon, sir. May I take your bags?
Oh, yes, thank you very...
No. I've got them. Thank you. Nathaniel, why don't you sit down there and let me check us in?
All right.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Checking in.
Excellent, sir. And the name?
Sigler. Dr. Eugene Beauregard Sigler.
Sigler. You're not by any chance related to...
We prefer not to discuss that side of the family.
Of course. I completely understand. Your room is just being prepared for you. If you'd like to have a drink at the bar, I'll send someone as soon as it's ready.
Thank you. My colleague and I will just be over here.
What did he say?
He said our room will be ready shortly. We should change clothes quickly and head to the market square as soon as possible. We can use this time to contact Alexander and see if he's been able to discover anything.
Nathaniel and Seinshun walked to the far corner of the hotel lobby and sat down closely to each other. Seinshun removed a thick laptop from his scratched leather satchel and activated the communication software. A bespectacled man with a closely cropped beard appeared on the screen.
I'm assuming you're not calling for a ski report.
Actually, I was wondering if you knew a good place for Chinese food while I'm in China.
Cute.
I'm all aground, but so far I have no leads. Back in New York, our trail was getting hot. Tell me what you've been able to find out. Where is Blackdoor now?
Seinshun, I'm not coming up with much. No unusual trip movement, no black market chatter. I've monitored the local police channel. Nothing.
Alex, there has to be something. They're in Tibet for a reason. Whitt Roberts is somehow trying to lure Macallan here. He's got to be making his presence known.
Come on, Seinshun. It's Blackdoor. They know how to disappear when they want to.
I know. still.
Look, it might not mean anything, but I did intercept some chatter from Chinese satellite intel issuing a bunch of relocation instructions. It seems like there is some sort of satellite traffic knocking them around.
I don't understand.
The best that I can explain is that we're seeing a concentration of satellite activity over a high-altitude area south of Tigray. But as for what it means...
Yo, what does that mean?
I haven't the slightest idea. It doesn't give us much to work with.
Alex, have you tried...
Excuse me, Mr. Sigler. Your room is now ready, sir.
I have to go, Alex. I'll contact you as soon as I can.
Seinshun quickly snapped his laptop shut, and he and Nathaniel rose to follow the bellhop that was now ascending a large semicircular staircase that led to the hotel elevators. When they reached the 4th floor, the bellhop led the two of them to an impressive room at the end of the long hallway. The double doors to the room opened to a spacious 2-bedroom suite with red high lacquer cabinetry against the far wall, 2 small couches in the center, and a giant floor-to-ceiling window overlooking the city center of Lhasa.
This will be your room, Mr. Sigler. As you can see, the room provides you with an excellent view overlooking the city, as well as Potala Palace. I hope you find your accommodations to be satisfactory. If you need anything at all, please don't hesitate.
We don't need anything. Thank you, but we're going to be heading out shortly.
Of course. I'll leave you to your room.
The bellhop turned and left the room, closing the door behind him. At the same time, almost a full mile away, Whitt Roberts pulled back the massive bolt on the M107 Barrett sniper rifle and brought his right eye to the laser-sighted scope.
Target 0 acquired. Coordinated right where you said he'd be, Jason. I'm taking the shot. I've waited a long time for this, Seinshun.
Whitt Roberts felt a 9mm bullet scream just over his head, so close that his short auburn hair lifted to reach it. The shock of being fired upon startled Whitt Roberts so much that his hand jerked uncontrollably, thus firing the trigger of the Barrett sniper rifle he was crouched over. Whitt leapt to his feet and darted backwards, simultaneously drawing his R9S from its holster. Mai Li was calmly walking towards him with her gun aimed directly at him.
Fucking bitch! What the hell are you doing?
What the hell are you doing, Whitt? A little extra credit project for door number 12? Are you out of your criminally delusional mind? Taking out a target with a traceable high-caliber weapon? You said you had a meeting with a local contact.
This was my local contact.
You're a liar, Whitt, and I don't work with liars. My father contacted me directly. I don't need you as a part of...
I'm sorry. I have orders just like you. It was a stupid gamble, and getting to Mount Shenglong is a bigger priority.
I don't think you're even the slightest bit sorry.
I had a reason for doing this. An important reason. I found something you need to see.
I can't imagine what you could possibly show me that way.
Whitt threw his fist into Mai Li's face, feeling her nose break under his knuckles. Mai Li tried her best to absorb the punch, letting the momentum of the blow spin her around and set her up for a roundhouse kick aimed directly at Whitt's larynx. But the kick missed its mark, and the round toe of her boot connected with Whitt's chin, whipping his head to the left. Whitt's vision clouded for a moment, but instinct forced him to throw up his elbow, blocking the follow-up punch that he knew was coming. After swinging with her right, Whitt knew Mai Li would throw a straight left. He dropped to one knee and buried his fist into her stomach, knocking the wind out of her. Mai Li crumpled on the ground, gasping for breath. Whitt jumped to his feet, but was still wobbly from the powerful kick Mai Li had landed across his face. He backed up a step and ran towards her like a midfielder kicking a penalty shot. He brought his leg back, aiming for her face. But before his foot could connect, Mai Li grabbed a hold of his foot and twisted his ankle with all of her might. Mai Li knew she had one chance and reached up his legs to grab his testicles with both hands and squeezed with all her might. With his free leg, Whitt slammed his boot into Mai Li's face, knocking her 5 feet backwards. And as she tried to stand up, her balance was lost, causing her to tumble towards the ledge of the roof. A decrepit aerial antenna stood in her way. She grabbed it, but it was too late. She was too close to the ledge. The small retaining wall that ran along the edge of the roof kicked her legs out from under her. She began falling 5 stories straight down.
So this is where it ends.
The weight of Mai Li's falling body ripped the antenna off the roof and tumbled over the edge along with her.
I really didn't expect...
But the connecting cables within the antenna stood firm and snapped taut, supporting Mai Li's dangling body over the ledge of the abandoned building. Wearily, Whitt Roberts got back to his feet. The deep ache in his groin radiated outward to the extremities of his body. But seeing Mai Li like this, vulnerable, inches from death, brought a reluctant smile to his face.
It's over now. You're over, Mai Li. You are a problem. A nasty, dirty little problem that I'm about to solve.
He limped over to the ledge.
It's not that far down, Mai Li. maybe 5 or 6 stories. When I cut these cables, I want you to try to keep your feet underneath you. You might just live, but maybe not if I put a bullet in your head. It's nice to have such wonderful choices. Either way, I'm going to win, and you are going to lose.
Whitt unsheathed one of his push knives and hovered it over Mai Li's hand.
I told you I would happily disobey my orders to protect you if you gave me any problem. Well now, I finally get to make sure that you are never a problem again.
You're the only problem here, Whitt. Don't move. Not even a fucking inch. Drop the knife and kick it away from you.
Whitt remained motionless as the barrel of the Glock was pushed against his temple.
Shoot me, and your girlfriend will never see her father. Pull the trigger, and you will never ever see your friend Tully.
You don't know shit about...
I know where Tully is now. He's in Leviathan. So is Macallan Orsel. If you want to ever see them alive again, put the gun down. Think this through, Oberlin. Like I told you on the train, this isn't about just you and me.
The gun goes down when Mai Li gets up. Help her now.
Whitt reluctantly reached over the side of the roof and pulled Mai Li back onto the roof. She fell backwards onto the ground and stared at Whitt Roberts with hatred, and for a split second, nobody moved an inch.
It's the police. There have been reports of shots. They'll be here soon.
What do you want to do, Whitt?
God damn the both of you. There's a minivan downstairs with the sign for Lynn Blant Travel Adventures. Get in. It'll take us to the outskirts of Lhasa, where we'll rendezvous with the military supply truck to Tingri.
We'll be late. We need to get to Shenglong sooner.
And don't worry. Once we get outside Tingri, we'll be using a more specialized form of transportation.
Back in the Manasarova Hotel, Seinshun dodged to the side as the door to his hotel room vaporized, leaving the smallest shards of presswood smoldering on the edges. Seinshun felt a hot burn on the left side of his face where the bullet had just missed.
Nathaniel!
I'm here, Seinshun. I'm okay.
Stay down. We've got to get out of here. When I say go, we're gonna make a break for the hallway. Ready? Now!
The two of them sprinted down the hallway until they reached the elevators.
No, this way!
The elevators?
No, too dangerous. They'll be staked out in the lobby.
Who?
Blackdoor! They found us. They planted people in the hotel. Quick, use the fire escape.
Nathaniel and Seinshun sprinted to the door at the end of the hallway, with glowing Chinese characters above it. They rounded the curve in the hallway before they saw 2 men wearing hotel uniforms and holding massive SIG 516 assault rifles.
Too much firepower. Can't engage. Need to think fast of something that will...
And he then saw it, there, by the door. Seinshun pulled out his Walter PK-380 and fired just to the right of the 2 approaching assassins. The bullet hit the fire extinguisher beside the door dead on and exploded inches from the 2 men sent to kill Seinshun and Nathaniel.
Come on, hurry. There'll be more any second. Down the fire escape. We've got to get to the street.
The 2 of them tore down the scaffolding in the rear of the building. They jumped down the last 2 stories, landing squarely on their feet, and started sprinting towards the city center. Both Nathaniel and Seinshun started scanning the neighborhood buildings for any sign of the Blackdoor assassin who had shot at them.
Which one? Any of them has a clear shot at our room.
There's no way to... Wait, Nathaniel, look at that roof over there.
There's a woman hanging off the side.
I think we just found our building. Let's move. Move.
The 2 of them raced towards the disheveled building 10 blocks away. Each of them was pushing their immortal physiology as hard as they could, covering the distance in what would have been faster than a 4-minute mile pace. They arrived in the low-slung building entrance.
I can hear police coming. There's not much time. Nathaniel, you stay down here for 30 seconds, then follow. If you hear gunshots, you run. If anybody comes at you, you run.
Seinshun?
I need you down here to make sure that we're not walking into an ambush. Count to 30, then meet me on the roof.
Without another word, Seinshun raced up the stairs 3 at a time and stood outside the rusted steel door to the roof. He pressed the side of his face against the filthy door and tried to slow down his breathing.
There has to be at least 2. A sniper and a lookout, maybe 3. The lookout will be the must come out of the equation first. Have to move quick. 1 shot, 1 kill. Ready?
Seinshun burst onto the roof, eyes scanning for targets, looking in front, on the sides, nothing. He quickly whipped around, expecting an ambush attack from behind. Nothing. His eyes even looked above him, a trick perhaps, but above him as well there was nothing. The roof was entirely empty.
Seinshun, the police are coming soon. We have to get out of here. What did you find?
Nothing. I found nothing.
Seinshun, there's a satchel in the corner.
In his frantic search for human adversaries, Seinshun had overlooked a khaki knapsack that almost blended in perfectly with the dirt and garbage-strewn rooftop. He tore over to the far corner of the roof where the knapsack lay. Seinshun ripped off the buckles and dumped all the contents on the ground. Clothes, GPS device, a survival knife all lay scattered, but one thing in particular caught Seinshun's attention. He picked up the large folded piece of paper and unfolded it in front of his face. Nathaniel began running over.
What is it?
It's a map.
Of what exactly?
A place called Mount Shenglong.
You have been listening to the Leviathan Chronicles. The Leviathan Chronicles was written and created by Christof Laputka, produced by Robin Shaw, produced and musical composition by Luke Allen, directed by Nobi Nakanishi. For a full list of cast and crew, or to purchase the ad-free director's cut, go to leviathanchronicles.com. Thank you for supporting us, and thank you for listening. To discover more podcasts set in the Leviathan universe, go to leviathanaudioproductions.com or follow us on Facebook or Twitter. Leviathan Audio Production.